I think this says a lot about the U.S. consumer, right? Consumers are spending less on non-essential products at Target. Target is a store that you go to for one thing and you pile 20 more things in your cart, and that's what we call discretionary spending, stuff that you don't necessarily need but you want. That's where Target is really hurting right now. Those shoppers are either going to Walmart because they're looking for value, or they're just not spending as much as they did at Target. So that says a lot about the state of the U.S. consumer. They're pickier, they're choosier, they have a strapped budget, and Target is feeling that much more so than Walmart.
Well, how are we thinking about this ahead of the holiday season? Of course, this is an optimal time for a lot of retailers, and I imagine Target is included in that bunch. What are we thinking?
Well, the holiday season is really already underway here, so we're starting to see that a little bit. Also, in this most recent quarter, we had back-to-school shopping, we had Halloween, we had the start of deal days. Black Friday shopping now starts in the summer, so we already had the start of those deal days reflected in this quarter. It's definitely a pressure point for the retailer.
Do you do your holiday shopping at this point already? I don't do it until...
I'm late. I'm last minute, so I'm not the one to ask, but...
Do you go to Target?
Apparently people are going there. I do go to Target. Love Target, and some people call it Target.
Of course, that makes it classier.
You're one of them, right?
Yeah, of course.
But, honestly, people are out there. They're trying to get things sorted and ready for the holiday season, but if it comes down to the two, apparently it seems as though people are going to Walmart.
Well, that point you just made about Target is really interesting. What did Walmart see? They saw the most of their growth coming from higher income households. The Target
people who speak French.
People who speak Target,
right.
Yeah. And that's exactly where Target is feeling the crunch. So we don't have the data yet, but it does seem like the market share at Target is shrinking while it's growing at Walmart. Maybe there are those shoppers that are pulling into a different parking lot.
Well, and sales are either stalled or down, depending on your comparison. But inventory built up. Maybe because there wasn't as much of a port strike as they expected. They made what could have been a smart move. In hindsight, it didn't really help much. Does that mean we're going to see discounting at Target? Don't they want to take share back?
That's a really good point. The CEO, Brian Cornell, said this morning he tried to play down the significance of these negative results and said their stockpiling of goods for the port strike was a one-time problem. So it will be interesting to see how do they move past that, because as we saw in their results, keeping that inventory on hand is very costly.